Welcome back to Frugalman Outdoors. If anyone has been watching the weather, you'll notice that Florida is about to get the worst weather they've had when it comes to cold, ice, and snow than they've had in the last 6 years. I've got 10 steps that are just small ideas that would help you get through this. Preparations for the ice and snow so things don't get broken or messed up along the way. So follow along and I'll show you my 10 small ideas of what to do in preparation for the cold. Number one, your bird feeders. In my preference, I like to remove my bird feeders so they don't get the ice and snow on them and get covered up with the ice and snow so the birds can't get in there. And also it'll save them from getting broken from being frozen and the wind blowing around. If for some reason they get knocked off the rack, they hit the ground while they're frozen, they will break. So I'm gonna climb up here and I'm gonna pull these bird feeders down and I'm gonna put them in shelter until the ice and snow is over. Let's go to number two. Number two, if you have flags or banners outside your home, you might want to take them down until after the ice and snow, because if it gets on there and the wind starts blowing, it may crack the threads and damage your flags. I like to keep Old Glory in pretty good shape, so we're going to take it down until after the ice and snow is gone. Okay, let's head to number three. Okay, number three, your outdoor hydrants on your home and out in your yard. You want to make sure they're insulated so they don't freeze. This one here is not a frost-free hydrant, so I'm going to put this insulated cover on it. You can pick these up at Walmart and Lowe's. I believe I bought these a couple years ago for around $5 a piece. The price may fluctuate, so they're not really expensive. They're really easy to install. Oop, I slipped off that time. Just take the loop, wrap it around. And then pull it tight. It pulls up tight against the house and air will not get in there and freeze your pipes. Now I'm going to show you the hydrant in my yard, which it comes up out of the ground. Okay, part two of number three is hydrants. This one here, it comes up out of the ground. I've already got it wrapped up because last week we had some cold weather that was supposed to be down close to freezing. We never really got there, but I was prepared for it anyway. This here is an old horse blanket, and then we have some insulation we wrapped around the hydrant and pulled it tight. That way the air and the cold weather does not get to the water and freeze my pipes. Which will lead us to number four. Campers and RVs. If you have campers or RVs that have a supply tank, make sure you drain those supply tanks. That way the water does not freeze and break your tanks. Also, you want to make sure the water on the inside is drained out, because if it gets deep freeze for long enough, even the pipes inside your camper will freeze. I'll show you the drain that I put underneath a camper just a couple of weeks ago for my neighbor to make sure that his camper would not freeze and break during the bad weather. Okay, under here we have the two drain valves that I put in. One's for the hot and one's for the cold. These here are shark bites. Picked them up at Lowe's. I believe for the pieces of pipe and the shark bites, I may have spent a total of maybe $40 with all the hardware and the T's up top to tie them in and everything. But everything I did here was shark bites. I didn't have to have any glue. I just cut them, put the things together, and it worked out real well. So what we do is we open the valves, drain the entire system. This system didn't have any drains to drain all the water in the camper, so we added these so we wouldn't have to worry about it. My campers have the drain plugs on them, so we already had that system drained. I just want to show you an easy way to install drains to your camper if they don't have them accessible or if they don't have them at all. As you see here, this is my well. We've already built a nice well house around it. It's insulated, but we had the door open. Now that the cold weather is moving in, we're going to close the door. Now in this area, I've seen a lot of people where their well is out in the yard, out in the open. If that's the case, get you some insulation or old quilt or something, wrap it around it to protect it, and strap it down tight to where the cold weather doesn't cause your pipes to break. If your well quits during a bad freeze, that's going to be a bad sign, because you're going to be without water. And there's no telling when they're going to be able to come out and fix it, because so many other people have plumbing problems. It's going to take a while for the plumbers to get to you. So take care of it before that busts. We're going to take the door and put it on. As you see, our door is also insulated. My pipes are not going to freeze. Next one is windshields. If you have to get up early and go to work after ice and snow, sometimes your windshield wipers will be frozen to your windshield, and then you'll have ice and snow all over your windshield. People down here in Florida don't normally have scrapers handy, so we took some old placemats and we're going to cover the windshield. And the easy way to hold them on there is to start your vehicle, bring the windshield wipers to the up position, and turn the key off. That way your windshield wipers stay up high. Then you can slide your placemats underneath your windshield wipers. Now that our windshield wipers are in the upper position, we can slide the placemats on underneath the blades. That way, tomorrow morning, when we get up to go to work, we won't have to worry about scraping ice or snow off of the windshield. All we have to do is pull these placemats off and the ice and snow will come off with it. I have another idea for another vehicle. We have a small tarp. I'll show you what I would do with that on the other truck. Okay, for this vehicle, I'm going to use a small 4x6 tarp. We had a few of these laying around from an old auction we went 2 years ago. So I'm going to try to use this for our vehicle here. What I've already done is I already had the windshield wipers up and turned the vehicle off. And this is going to be long enough to go from door to door. So we're going to attach it by holding the windshield wipers out and then opening up the doors. Lay it in place, and then we'll close the doors on it. Dusty, you want to help me? Let's try that again. Okay, I guess we have to close the door slowly and then push it in. That's work. Or if you have a second person, somebody can hold it in from the back door. There you go. The tarp is nice and tight. So now the snow and ice can build up on there all at once. Come tomorrow morning, all we have to do is pull this tarp off and the ice and snow will come off with it, and we'll have a nice clean windshield. Okay, number 7. How many people in Florida have a snow shovel? Very few. So we have steps that are going to be covered up with ice and snow. I don't like shoveling snow, and I don't like battling ice. I'm going to be pretty sure that it's going to be hard to find rock salt down here. So I'm going to cover these steps with a tarp, kind of like I did with the windshield. That way the ice and snow will only build up on the tarp. Come tomorrow morning, pull the tarp off, I'll have nice clean steps. Safe for everybody to go up and down the steps. Okay, let's go to number 8. So I have a camper that's well insulated. I'm going to put the bird feeders inside here. I'll be right back. Now, if you don't have a place to store your outdoor plants that could be damaged by the freeze, and these here are poisonous to cats, so I don't want to bring it in the house. I have indoor cats. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in the camper. But if you don't have a place to put them, you can always take a bucket or a tote or something and cover them up. That way the ice and snow doesn't get to them. It's going to be a short period of time, so I'm not going to be worried about the freeze too bad, but this will keep the ice and snow off of the plants directly, and it won't be damaged as bad. But like I said, I have the camper that I can put them in, so I'm going to actually put mine in the camper. This is just in case you don't have a place to put them. Number 9. Number 9, outdoor animals. We have an outdoor cat that hangs out right here on the porch. He does not come in the house. Now he has other places he could go. He can slide up underneath the house or get under the camper or something. But we have provided him with a small place to sleep. It's a cloth little box that's soft on the inside. He can get out of the wind and the snow and the ice won't get to him. Also, before the snow and ice hits, we're making sure he has plenty of food and water. That way he can fill up before it hits. When it starts snowing and getting icy out here, I'll pull this out of the weather. That way it doesn't get damaged. And then after the storm, I'll put it back out. That way he has plenty of food and water. Let's go take a look at number 10. And finally, number 10. You've seen my generator used in previous videos when we did some welding. This generator is also equipped to where it can plug into the house and run my entire house. I want to make sure it's running, and I also want to make sure I have extra gas just in case the ice and snow take down the power lines. I have electric heat. I need to be able to fire the generator up, hook it up to my home, and have heat for my family. Let's check to make sure it's still running. Thanks for joining me on this short video. A little bit of preparation for the ice and cold. Please stay warm, make sure your animals are taken care of, and stay warm in the house. Please like and subscribe. See you next time.